So that's what we're
Think
trying
we
to
can do that.
Setting the bar.
So we need to make up for some lost time.
Okay, you're live.
All right, Laura, we're live. We're live, Laura.
That's pressure.
I don't think we're going to do that today.
Laura,
but-
we're live.
Okay. All right, great. Good afternoon. It is 4 o'clock on Thursday, October the 9th, and I'm calling the Environmental Advisory Committee to order. And I'm going to acknowledge that the press and public were duly notified of the meeting in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. Do we have citizens' comments, public comments?
They did not sign up for it, so.
We
Okay.
need to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
We're going to, there were some questions from Ms. Mars on some of the meeting minutes. So we're going to, in order to give her a chance and for us to clarify that, we're going to skip approval because we don't want to just do something when she's not 100% sure about some of the information in it. Is that, I'm correct?
I had a question, and
A
then I
question.
wasn't sure about how it was written, so.
Okay, so we're going to skip the approval of the
I had
previous
some
meeting.
changes to the minutes too, but we can deal with that later.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have you guys just go, yeah, I'm gonna make some changes, and you go, sure, that's
Yeah.
fine, and not know what they were. I want to give you the
Understand.
opportunity to see. It
One of the changes was you.
I had the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there was
All
another
right.
one.
It was
All
just a
right.
correction, it wasn't a change, but, yeah, okay.
All right, and so we do not have citizens' comments, but we do have Fisher Glass Recycling
Yes.
here for their presentation?
Yep.
Okay, great. Come on, go
if you don't
ahead.
mind,
Yeah, you just come
yeah.
on up to the table and sit with us.
Oh, boy.
Come on up here, some
All right.
mic, and just ask that you talk into the mic, and I'll just kind of introduce the Fishers, and they have been handling, as you all know, I feel.
Here, I'll pull up a chair.
Okay.
We just got them.
They have been the city's vendor for collecting glass recycling for probably 3, if not
This is the third.
third year. That contract is up for renewal. We have received, as you all know, a series of questions about, what differentiates what Fisher is doing versus the Charleston County operation that comes to your doors weekly. So we've been trying to kind of get some information on what that difference is. I think that we've heard from the county that they are currently not using the materials in the road beds, which is what they were doing at one time.
That's correct.
So I just wanted to have the Fishers here to talk about what their process is, how it's different. Ask you all if you want to have any questions for them, and just kind of open it up for discussion.
Sounds good. We're ready whenever you are.
Thank you very much for
Thanks.
having us. I'm
Okay.
Elizabeth Fisher.
Okay.
I'm 51% owner. Chris started the business in 1992. He's the other half. We do appreciate you allowing us to speak about this. We realize that you are looking at to renew the contract today and making those considerations, so we appreciate that. What we did want to do today is highlight some of the reasons why that the program has been successful here on the island. Just a few little bullet points of, from 2023, there was 8 tons that were recycled. And then in 2024, there were about 15 tons that were recycled. And this year, we're projected at 39 tons based on the collections that he's doing on a weekly basis. We do feel very proud of how consistent our collection is every Friday. And we feel like that keeps the program both reliable and visible, and thanks to those designated areas that are around the island that are for those glass recycling and the composting. Another benefit is also, if you've ever heard of the term circular economy, 5 to 10% of what we collect actually does go back into a local product that we make, Glass Eco Surfaces. The majority of it does get recycled. However, we do pick out a lot of those pretty colors and use it in our surfaces. Our community partnership with Isle of Palms, we believe, continues to set an example for coastal environmental stewardship, and you all are certainly ahead of all of that. The program quality has stayed consistent. It has been very well received by residents. We have received comments that things are clean, things look good, things are not broken, it's not in disarray. So if we have had As you know, a couple of storms where we've lost a few cans, but they've been salvaged, and we've had residents that call those to our attention, so we appreciate that. We do what we collect that we feel is different and more important is the quality of the glass that we do collect. So it's a single stream, it's clean, well, it's a source, cleaned, and then that is really good for the end market. So what we give them is 99% glass, which makes it really good for recycling as a whole in the end market. We do feel like this just demonstrates how local partnerships can outperform large-scale systems, and we want to stay active in the community as we have been. We do think over the 2 years, it's been a great sustainable recycling program, and Isle of Palms is leading by example because it is still the only city that has committed to making that program work. So we thank you for your time.
Okay.
So, council has been looking at this issue and
Yes.
questioning and a number of residents have questioned, the cost.
Yes.
And whether, and now that Charleston County is, in essence, doing some of the same recycling, I guess they're sending some of the glass to the same place that y'all are sending some of your glass, is that,
They do.
that's what I hear?
We send it to the same end market,
Yeah.
yes.
Basically saying, what's the justification for the $10,000? It's $10,000 a year, right?
It is.
Can you speak to that?
About the quality of the material, definitely.
Okay.
We do feel like, and we have heard from the end market, that our material is superior in quality, which is a good thing.
So
which means-
so are you saying that basically with the glass that the facility, it's in Georgia, I think, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so the facility in Georgia is getting from you more recyclable, usable
Yes.
glass than they are from Charleston County?
Yes, and mainly because there is a level of contamination that's presented from the public and some of those, the way that their facility works. It's actually not coming off where we expected it to be coming off at the end, which it had been. They've kind of resituated some things, but we have heard from that end market that what we're giving them is better. They don't have to pick through it, they don't have to sort through it. It's good glass. So we think that's powerful.
So
That
basically,
means it's going to be a better product
and
without.
less is going into
the landfill.
inevitably ending up in a landfill.
Right.
So,
What percent of your glass is used? You said 5 to 10%?
Is what we keep
They
really here locally and use in local products, and everything else gets 100% recycled.
What percent of the glass that you collect would you say winds up in a landfill?
Nothing that we collect.
Do we know what percent of Charleston counties ends up in a landfill?
I don't think we do.
We don't have that number.
We don't have that number.
Can we get that number?
So as I understand it, it goes from the county to a facility, all of it now goes to the facility in Atlanta, is it Atlanta?
Atlanta, outside Atlanta. Yeah.
I guess the question is what percent does Atlanta, what percent of your material versus the county's material makes it into
Into.
a future product?
Right.
And I don't know if we have the ability to get that information, but we could certainly ask.
well, in the email trail that we were provided by Jim Smiley, so he asked Christina Moscos at Charleston County.
Yes.
He said, has, the county having glass rejected or downgraded by Strategic Materials? Much of the glass the county sends to Strategic Materials is too contaminated to be recycled. Has the county ever had glass that was rejected or could not be recycled? And she said, her response was, we have never been told that any of our loads have been rejected or downgraded by Strategic. And then he said, as a follow-up and she said that there were 8,346.5 tons of glass recycled in 2024, and he asked, was any glass not recycled ending up in the landfill? If so, how many tons were sent to the landfill? was any glass not accepted by the recycler because it was too dirty? And her response was, no, all incoming glass was recycled. So.
That's the county or the?
Yeah, that's the count.
That's MRF, that's the county's, yeah, that's the county's MRF. And they did say that they are not currently using any of the glass for roadbed fill.
She did confirm that with me as well. I
Yeah.
inquired about that. that
She
it-
said if the
She
market
is
would.
sending it to Atlanta, yes.
Yeah, she said if the market should plummet to a point where it's not profitable to haul the glass to the processing facility in Georgia, then they might reconsider going back to putting it in the roadbeds. But she said, I don't anticipate this change happening anytime soon.
And when she says road beds, it is landfill cover that they're putting on the roads that go up to the landfill.
Up to the landfill.
Yeah.
It compacts the landfill. That's what they say is a road bed.
Okay,
So it is not what you would do on Isle of Palm.
Yeah, it's not like it-
only a landfill road.
Okay.
That it goes to.
all right.
And do you have a financial agreement with Georgia as far as do you receive compensation for the glass that you take to them?
Our situation is a break-even situation, so I would say, yes, we're receiving compensation. However, they are covering the trucking. So it is not really a profit situation in any way for us. It's very minimal, because we've had to load the vehicle itself as well with our equipment and our labor. So it is not a revenue source for us, no. That's not our motivation. It's to give the best quality glass that we can give to recycle more.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just trying to understand if the net result of both streams, the Charleston County and then what we're doing here on the island, both go to the same facility and the facility is saying that they're recycling 100% of both, what's the real benefit? I mean, I get that it's more efficient, what we're doing here. The citizens are going out of their way to move glass to these locations. We're paying you guys to clean it up, and then it doesn't seem like there's a material difference at the end result if somehow the recycling facility is getting 100% usage out of both.
I suppose that in our inquiries with the end market, which is in Atlanta, is not consistent what I'm hearing is being portrayed by the county.
I don't know that we have, I think that.
We haven't spoken with anybody in
Yeah,
Georgia.
I think that's the disconnect.
That's the
We're hearing
disconnect.
that 100% of the county's material, have the information from the Atlanta facility, is 100% of what comes from the county being recycled, or is 100% of what's coming from Fisher being recycled.
We
I don't-
have
In Georgia that's taking it.
Sibelco, and it was Strategic Materials.
Oh, it was strategic. So it's now called Sibelco?
Yes, they have sold.
How do you, is it SIB,
ELCO.
two Bs, CIBB?
No B.
Oh,
No twos.
no, two Bs, no two Bs?
One B.
Just one,
They purchased Strategic about 16 months ago.
okay. So it's SIB,
ELCO.
ELCO. And do we have a contact, like who's the manager or the head of the company? We don't know.
Do you know?
I can find that out for you. I can get that.
Okay. So Sibelco purchased Strategic about 16 months ago? Okay.
It'd be interesting to know the answer to that. I'm not sure I know what we would do with that answer. If we have, if we've got these numbers, 8, 15, and projected 39 tons of glass coming through Fisher, that's going 100% clean to Atlanta, it's, in theory being 100% recycled. If we determine that Charleston County's is 95% clean or 85% clean or whatever the number is, what do we do with that? Like, I still don't know how we reconcile this. Like, what do we do with this? I think, my simple world, if this didn't cost any money, but we had to set up facilities and have people go out of the way to do it 100%, it'd be a no-brainer. It's, is the $10,000, is the juice worth the squeeze? I think what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Well, and again, but the question's been raised and answered apparently from MRF or from Charleston County, that 100% of the glass is being recycled, and there's a he said, she said apparently going on with.
I think the county's saying 100% of the glass is going to strategic.
And they haven't been told by
And they haven't-
strategic
And they
that
haven't
our,
been
that our
told.
glass is bad, but they haven't been
Verbatim
told.
is that it's being recycled.
It's-
So I
yeah,
think
they're saying.
question is do they mean that it's going to Georgia and being recycled, or do they mean it's going to Georgia?
Right.
Right.
I mean, to me, the verbatim is the verbatim, it's being recycled. So we should follow up with the county and say, when you said this quote, what precisely do you mean? And if they say, well, it's going to Georgia, then it's like, okay, well, we can call Georgia and say, hey, like, and learn about, that, what do you do with the glass that's rejected? What do you do with the glass that you don't? But based off this verbatim, I agree, it seems completely and utterly redundant to kind of have two services, both that send glass, both that collect from Isle of Palms and have glass that's 100% recycled. So I think it's just vetting that
Yeah.
specific line.
We need
to
to
see if,
find out what's happening once it gets to Georgia.
yeah. It shouldn't be hard, it should be 1 to 2 phone calls.
Yeah, the county call will be easy. I don't know anything about the Sibelco, if they will know, if there's gonna be an operation there that
Right.
would know
Right.
this truck comes in. They might know if they recycle everything that they get, I guess that will be interesting, and that would confirm it. If they have a kind of answer about, well, some of it is contaminated and it goes to the landfill, we could just get that from them. That will obviously make it hard to vet, I
To
think.
your all's knowledge, that's the case. Whatever glass they get in, regardless of the source, some of it they use and some of it goes to a landfill.
Yes,
Should be,
and we can get a
yeah.
contact for
that's-
that, and I can send that over to
Okay.
you.
And I got one more different line of question, I guess. The $10,000 per year, do you see that potentially going up, going down, staying the same? Is this at $10,000 per year for the next 100 years that we would be doing
Well, I'd like
this?
to see it in the form of that grant that we did initially. That was beneficial as well,
Did
but
it
yeah.
ever materialize, the grant?
I thought
have
it
it
was
in
the
my mind.
first year.
I have it in my mind that, it actually, I know we applied, I can't remember if it actually,
I feel confident the
Yeah.
first year did.
Yeah.
and versus
That was a
the
great-
rest
yeah.
of
And
it.
I would expect, of course, yeah, like as our labor increases, I don't think it'll be 10,000 forever.
Forever.
It's going up,
Right.
yeah. So there's no part of this process where you guys are making more money from Georgia, so
No.
we're making, like, down
No.
the road even?
No.
Yeah, so
And
it's not,
the volume is increasing, so our labor here is
Sure.
also
I
increasing,
get
and
it.
we haven't, yeah.
and I bring that up because I think we're not, we're talking about $10,000 today, but, it's sort of a longer-term commitment. It's at minimum $10,000 a year for the foreseeable future.
Right.
Is also what we're trying to figure out, right?
Yeah, I think as a municipality, grants are always a good option to consider.
Sure.
They're very enthusiastic about that. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
the only other thing I would add that this group has talked about in the past, and I guess it's becoming less of an issue, but the kind of, the behavior aspect of it. that
Yeah.
If the county were to become willy-nilly about what they do with the material,
Yeah.
that's always been a consideration of this
We're
group.
beholden to them.
Yeah,
I mean,
once
you know,
if
whatever
we
county
were to sever
decides.
ties, and then they go back to using it for roadbed, it would be very hard to kind of turn on
Just-
and off the
yeah,
behavior
just
once
when-
it's
yeah,
learned. So that's,
yeah.
I
but
mean,
I think we're now into like 2 years of them
Yeah.
not, so I guess we'll ask, when was the last time it was used as a roadbed? Do you foresee it going back
yeah.
at any time in the future, and just see what they say about that?
I was gonna say, I wonder if we're separating materials for the county, does that help them in any way? Down the road, if the county says we're committed to 100% clean recycling, if we were able to, in my old community, we had to separate items, you didn't put them all in one, so there was better opportunity to keep things like glass clean. So, if Charleston was to ever change how they collect or where they collect the product from, like if we had glass stations that they could pick up separately, maybe that changes it keeps us in the same rhythm of what we're doing as a community, but leverages what we're already paying Charleston County to do through taxes. I mean, that's a big if, but something else to consider.
The trend across the country is the single stream programs that we have here are stopping because the contamination level and the markets are gone.
Yeah,
It's really, Charleston County, it'll catch up.
yeah.
The markets are shot.
I agree, and so I think they're eventually going to go to a,
Back to the dual
collecting
stream.
glass only,
To
collecting
a,
aluminum
yeah,
only.
different containers for different product, yeah. And where I lived before this, we had to have the glass in a totally different bin than the
I
other.
remember when Charleston County did it that way too, in the early years.
In the early years, yeah.
And they made
We
money
had two
doing it.
bins.
Well, that's what I've always heard, that Charleston County decides how and what they recycle based on what they make money off of.
That's exactly right.
Right.
So as long as,
Yeah.
and it sounds like this place in Georgia is one of, obviously, the closest one to us,
It's
I would guess.
closest, yeah.
So that means that these facilities are not all over the place.
Right.
So,
So we can say with certainty that the glass that you are sending is clean and totally able to be recycled, what you don't use for your countertop projects?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And so the question still is, what's the level of cleanliness and recyclability of what's going to Georgia from other streams
Yes.
from the county? Okay. And that's where we have to see if we can find some clarity.
yeah.
Okay,
We'll work on getting that contact for you tomorrow.
Thank you.
great.
Thank
Really,
you.
thank you.
Thank you for the time.
Yeah,
Right.
thanks for
Thank you.
coming. Okay.
I'm running out of cords here.
We'll go ahead and move on to our old business. We have our recommendations matrix that we're going to start with. Eric, do you want to?
I wasn't
Jump in
here
with
last
that?
time, so can you guys catch me up on where?
We decided you were in charge of everything.
Where?
That's right.
It's all you, Eric.
Your name.
Well, one of the things that I brought up is the fact that one of the matrix items is to coordinate with the South Carolina Aquarium about the Sea Rise project. And I had a Zoom call with them. Todd has had a Zoom call with them. We postponed having them come today to present. But they are going to come. We're going to have it on the agenda for next month. So that is something that we can hopefully begin to work through and can eventually check off on the matrix.
Yep, cool. So, where did y'all leave off? We gonna start at the top and,
We talked about combining.
Focus list, right?
Well, and we also noted too that there were some items on that list, Eric, that we thought could be combined.
They were kind of redundant.
Yes.
Well-
And that's in the meeting minutes.
okay. Do you wanna start at the top and, well, this is just the long,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
that's the
medium,
long
and
one.
short.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have the short one. This is the one I need to operate on to keep it consistent with everybody else. So if you want to do your short one, you can, but then someone send it to me and I can double work, put it in here.
Okay. We should probably figure out how to just all work from the same sheet of music though, because it's just for efficiency's sake,
So
so,
this one would be great to work from because it's, all the other committees are using the same.
okay.
sheet.
Can you send
Sure.
that to me?
I think this is what you started with, and I think we did a little bit of an exercise
Yeah.
of putting them together and
Yeah.
prioritizing them.
Yes, it was prioritized.
That's what-
But that has been a little bit wonky to try to keep multiple, the matrix is enough to kind of keep straight already with all the, so there would just need to be some additional work of keeping the master list
Yeah.
synced with whatever list is being used.
Is-
And that was
is this
the,
in its basic form, is this like an Excel spreadsheet?
yes.
Yeah.
So you could, I mean, have a column with numbers like 1, 2, 3, and then it would be sortable.
Yes, and that is.
No, I mean, like,
This would be more.
like,
for-
yeah,
priority.
the things
Oh,
that are.
have another column here that
The thing-
syncs it
that's-
to that one?
I mean, it's, so when I do Excel, I mean, there's probably a better way of doing it, but when I do Excel spreadsheets and I want to keep track of like what I've done versus what I need to do or whatever, I put a 1 next to the stuff that's done, and then I put a 2, and then you can sort it, and you get your 1s and 2s and 3s. And they all stay together, you know, and everything stays where it's supposed to be, but you have an order to it.
Well,
And you
or
can
at
al-
least
you
if
can
we could
always
add the
resort it.
recommendation number on here.
Yes,
Yeah, so that we could
so we can
then
cross tie the two.
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
That would do it. Yeah, we've been keeping status kind of by color with other committees, but it's the same. I think you assign a number to completed, 1 is completed, 2 is to do, 3
Right.
is.
'cause then you could look at it,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is, you know. And you could do it by, I don't know, if it's short-term, long-term, things that are under, things that are in the process, you know, things that haven't been started.
There was one on here, number 3, which seems to be more the result of all the other things. Like, it's not really an action item. Preserve, protect, manage, and enhance the island's natural resources, including the beach, the salt marsh, and the natural areas in the island's interior. Like,
That's like the heading.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even think that one should be on here.
Well, you see that there's a whole I mean, if you go about to the middle, you have aspirational, and some of the committees are only looking, they're sorting by actionable. So there are some that are just, they're aspirational type things that aren't, there's not really a to-do.
Okay.
But I agree with you, though, like, that's kind of that's
the overall goal.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
high level.
that should be like the question that we ask when we're answering, you know.
Why are some of these items in the left column, the first column, outlined in blue and some in black? Does that mean
I don't think that
something?
means anything.
That doesn't mean
I
it,
was wondering the
okay, I
same
was
thing.
wondering.
So should we focus on actionable?
Well, so.
I thought that's what we did from the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, well, So that's our what priority this list. shorter
So
list
the short
was.
list that I have, again, is the top 20 that are actionable in short term. So-
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
how we
Short,
started.
actionable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and,
Right.
and low costs. So that's the filter of.
The lower hanging fruit
Yeah,
options.
so why don't we do this? We'll run through these. If you can send me this master file, I'll incorporate what we discuss into this list and just start showing this list.
The big one.
Or, to the point, we'll assign the number,
So this one would get a 1.
take that list, assign the number that's in
The rec number.
recommendation
And
number,
then just center that.
and then we could go back to that list.
Yep, yeah, I send this, I'll make updates to this and I'll send it to you. It doesn't have the numbers though, so I'll have to figure out how to add the numbers to the pivot, because it's just a pivot table. But I'll mess with it and I'll get you the numbers and then you can just incorporate it. So we'll do that.
If you filter on short and actionable and environmental advisory committee, those 3 should get to the same list, right?
Sure, yeah.
So I've got it by short.
I feel like you also,
Actionable.
did you also not link together similar?
Yeah, it's actionable, the type of recommendation is actionable. The budget cost is blank and single dollar. And then the assigned committee is ZAC.
And that's already on this one.
And timeline for implementation is short.
Okay.
Those are the filters that I used.
So at least you get the list similar. and
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Did you have 20?
You said $1 sign?
One in
One in-
blank.
Blank.
Okay, so I've got 1 in blank, got it sorted up here now with, there's a lot of columns that I don't understand are white, so I've tried to hide them so we can see them
Uh-huh.
on one page. But so I've got it by short, actionable, and blank dollar sign up here on the screen now.
And then for assigned committee, just EAC.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, yeah, we started
Yeah.
that one.
That should, and you got.
Scroll down, see how many there are there.
I see 19 on
Well,
this
skipping.
short list.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so how many do you have?
It was, double check the 19 count.
Can you go to another column header and then do a count, see if it gives you a count?
Yeah, you're gonna check, we got it. Yeah. We got there, cool. Yeah,
Is that it?
that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
So not to just totally throw a monkey wrench in this, but I just looked at one that's considered exploratory, but it seems like such a low-hanging fruit. Like, consider requesting sustainable practices in the city's request for proposals and bids. I mean, and maybe this is another step,
What number is that?
but this is like, those are the kind of things that could be done without even,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't do that already.
right, like, you
Right.
don't even have to, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think that would be like a council decision. I mean, that's just something that
Is being,
It's a
feel like-
question and an RFP.
Can
we
you-
could just do it.
Can you
Yeah.
add exploratory and see how many more we get?
So highlight column I, it'll count it for you.
What did you say? Click
Hi-
on the
highlight.
click?
Yeah, just go
You
to
got
one,
it.
yeah, go up there
Select column I. And see if
and
you can
highlight it,
count.
yeah, just highlight, yeah, and it'll give you a countdown,
Okay. Oh. So we went up by 7.
yeah.
Add as
So, I mean, it might not
exploratory.
hurt to just knock some of those out too.
Yeah. So one of these we already finished,
And I know, I think some of them are,
which is the
Done,
SASB
too.
thing. So that's complete.
right.
So we may wanna,
We had the do no harm messaging for residents, visitors, developers, and businesses. Cindy was able to get us the Waldoons brochure, which is
Which is built off.
which is
Isle of
built
Palms.
off of the Isle of Palms do no harm
Data.
messaging, right? Or good neighbor brochure. And so we were going to look at repurposing that to fill in for, specifically for our Isle of Palms, for that specific item.
Yeah, so Todd
Correct.
and I are working on that.
And
We're
Todd,
meeting- we're
so
meeting
that's in
tomorrow.
progress.
So it's just figuring out the content, the
Format.
the delivery
Right.
and the format.
Yeah. We
Maybe
also
we
looked
could-
at the Folly Beach, the 9-box from Folly Beach, it's got right next to you, Laura.
Yeah,
But
and
that was
that's,
also-
that was,
That's not the same one?
develop a public education program on resilient strategies.
Okay.
And we had said to explore how to use the website to promote and educate the sea level rise adaptation plan, but there could be other things. So I had pulled up this Folly Beach. This is on their website, and it has lots of sustainable items.
Who's working on
and-
this one? Who's tasked with this one?
We didn't assign a task for this
I
one.
think it's very similar, right? Like Wild Dunes is be neighborly, be kind to nature, be safe. This is.
But this is
This
more,
is- this
another
is-
module. I
This is,
think, of the
this is
same-
more specific to resilience. So I think this is something as well that we should work towards to have on the IOP website. It doesn't have to be.
I'm trying to think of a way to get this so that it's, especially when the indication is educate, something like that, like a way, putting it on the website, to me, is just where things go to die a slow death. I mean, people that are uneducated, I mean, not uneducated is not the right word, but the people that you want to educate are not going on the website and
to get that education.
finding
yeah.
things.
So they won't use a QR code?
So that's what I'm wondering is if you have like, I don't know.
Magnets
For this one,
and brochures.
so this is about being more environmentally aware. Maybe we pick, say, the month of May, and the city kind of makes more of a presence for that, like on the sign and on
The newspaper articles and.
yeah, and when you
farmers
first open the
market.
website, that's the first thing you see, or,
Yep.
like something to get people's
Yeah,
attention.
it's a campaign more than just a document.
I guess that's where I'm getting, is like, I mean, having it on the website is great. But I feel like you're not gonna,
You're not getting the audience.
yes.
I think you do both, right? Because you need to put it out there in different forms.
Right, and we can
To
also
get
maybe
visitors.
have something at like the farmer's market maybe in May or whenever the farmer's market starts up. Not that you're going to get a lot of people there, but again, it's just awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, we could pick, every month. I think they start in June, so it's June, July, August, September, and they added October this year. So they do have it coming up next week. We could pick one of these items to be the focus and have a table. I've been doing a table with just sustainability about, doing rain gardens in your backyard, about the bucket.
Native plants.
The native
Oh,
plants, and then the mosquito dunk instead of using spray. And I've had that on the table to explain how that works as another sustainable option.
And is there an opportunity to maybe collaborate with Harris Teeter to have some kind of display or some kind of poster or something, because
Somewhere that everyone goes.
that gets a
and- yeah,
lot of
Yeah.
traffic.
That's true.
Could we
They've
put
been really
together?
great about, I feel like everything we've ever talked,
They've
like,
been- they've been a
the
good
things
neighbor.
we've done with them,
They've been a good
they've
neighbor.
been pretty good about.
Yeah. Is this an item that we could take with a smaller group that could kind of work through some of these ideas and come back with a proposal maybe? As opposed to trying to do it
I
during
think
these
so.
meetings?
It incorporates a lot of these. I think.
Like
the
an
core
education,
thing
an
here-
education
yeah.
group.
And if you make it a thing, you brand it like the Wild Dunes Way.
Mhm.
That's kind of hokey, but something, good citizen, Isle of Palms, good citizens, or
Mhm.
you come up with some brand or mindset, then it becomes a thing.
Well, and they also have partnered with the Chamber of Commerce and the Isle of Palms Cleanup Crew, which is Susan, on workshops for businesses on sustainability practices. I mean, that's why I feel like there's definitely a sustainability theme that could be
All put into one,
all put into one bucket.
yeah.
For resilient strategies.
For
do
resilient,
not
the resilient strategies,
harm, Do not harm.
do no harm, and then sustainability practices, working with the chamber. Even supporting the tree planting programs in the city, and develop a long-term plan. That's also sustainability.
Increase native plants on residential.
Right, all of that
properties.
is all, sustainability.
Facilitate.
Just the
So,
idea of being, come up with a playbook, like while all these ideas were thrown out, let's come up with a playbook of what we want to communicate, when and how, and then we can figure out what are the assets we need to support that, and where do these assets need to reside, and then we can kind of build the assets too, but let's kind of create the overarching plan first, and we can do
Yes.
that as a as this group, but it's gonna take time, or we could break up and somebody that's got marketing experience and communications experience, or whatever those things are, that could really kind of help us think through these ideas and come back with a proposal. Seems like that would be the quickest way to get it done, since we're trying to stay to an hour.
I mean, you could incorporate some of the other committees too, because I think they wanted the same thing on safety, and it's educational and also links to policy. Is easy, right? So it educates, but also makes it very easy to see what the rules are.
So if I go through just these 20, I haven't looked at the exploratory ones. There appears to be 9 different items that you could all incorporate into this. Public education program on resilient strategies, do not harm, encourage folks to have native plants on their properties, facilitate more programming focused on understanding and protecting our natural environment, more local promotions with QR links on kind of beach rules, which with tie-ins to the beach shuttle. I think that could be part of the sustainability thing. Partner with the Chamber of Commerce and Cleanup Crew on sustainability. Recruit volunteer neighborhood captains for regular cleanups. Guidance from local experts on native plants again, and establish education volunteer programs to promote community involvement. So there's 9 I think you could put in there. Half of them are like a call to action, and the other half appear to be like educational.
Educational,
But you
yeah.
could combine them both. You know, here's the education, now that you know this, let's go do something about it. So some sort of program that knocks off almost half of the short-term things, I think is a really good use of time. I agree, we need a small group to kind of workshop it, and then probably a big part, if not a whole session, to kind of come up with a plan. I mean, if we could spend an hour in a future session and knock off 9 of these things and with some kind of overarching multi-month program, that'd be amazing.
So that's another way to get there, is use one of
Yes.
these meetings. But the sole agenda item would be to work through that and maybe do some pre-work. Everybody kind of do some prep in advance.
Right,
and come in.
right.
We could do it as a group. It is a big initiative, and it kind of represents a lot of what we're working on, so that might make more sense. But we just have to either set up a separate meeting that we could all attend and do that, and it would be open to the public meeting, or repurpose one of our monthly meetings to do just that.
You could also tie it into the Earth Day event, and then you have 10, and then you literally have half the, short-term actionable items on our sheet wrapped into kind of one program.
With a due date.
Yeah, with a deadline and
Yeah.
and kind of a cumulative.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I want to have a
Deadlines are good.
deadline.
Yeah, I mean, that'll.
And that's May, so that's,
Right.
that's a reasonable deadline too. It's not like it's, so.
Should we do a separate meeting with this whole group, or should we just repurpose one of I know we've got things scheduled for November already. Like if we were gonna do just this topic, December is probably the first scheduled meeting we could do that. Should we schedule an off-cycle meeting with the whole group or everybody that can attend and try to knock this out? I would be willing to do that.
I'd be willing to do that too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like a workshop.
I do feel like
A workshop.
a lot of this stuff is kind of winding down the other stuff. So I mean, I'm thinking that in November, we could just dedicate, we'll have
The Sea Rise presentation.
one presentation and then just dedicate the whole rest of that meeting to this.
I don't think it's enough time. I think with the beginning and the ending and the 15 minutes to see rise, it leaves us with 30 minutes of working time. I'm not sure that's enough.
So are you seeing the group as brainstorming?
I'm
Or are
thinking-
you thinking a smaller group brainstorms, comes in with like a straw man? And
We
then
could,
people
that's
react?
one avenue. The other would be everybody sort of do pre-work and we work as a group, but spend a whole hour just kind of getting some ideas out on the table and try to come up with something together. I just don't think we can use one of our 12 meetings to do that. and
Okay.
Get all our other business done. So I'm open to doing either. I mean, if we've got 3 or 4 folks, or I guess it has to be 3 or less, if it's a subcommittee, or if we want to all do it and just schedule a meeting 2-3 weeks out from now or something like that, I'd be fine with that.
I'm okay with a separate meeting.
Yeah, I am too.
I am too.
Okay?
Let's
It can be more than, I mean, it can be a quorum. We just have to
Open to the public. yeah.
publicize it. Yeah,
So it's not really a
exactly.
big deal. I mean, we
Right.
shouldn't work ourselves if more than a quorum want to participate.
Yeah, that's what I think we should do.
Just publicize it.
All right. Do you want to make a motion then that we,
Or do you want to just set a
or you
meeting?
just want to set a meeting?
That's why I set a meeting.
And I think the agendas think about content, right, and delivery, and then action, because some will have events and things that go around that.
Yeah, Eric, you just summarized. I mean, the 10 items that we want to try to talk about, we could, just make sure everybody's got that front and center before we show up and,
Yeah, I just highlighted it so I can send it out. Can I send it out to the whole,
Yeah,
the whole group?
yep.
Okay.
Just don't start a dialogue. Don't
Was
just
the
send it
rec
out.
center one, there was a program, one of them had
I
a program at
highlighted
the rec
that,
center?
yeah, 'cause
Okay,
I think that's a perfect
yeah.
vessel to
That's-
deliver content and potentially even like, one of the things is to sign up volunteers for various things. That's the place to do it.
Yeah.
They're all gonna, it's an Earth Day event,
Mhm.
so, I mean, that could be useful.
okay.
Do we have the date for that, Doug? I know it's
For
on
Earth
the
Day?
calendar. I know an Earth Day.
Yeah,
but I
there
don't
is
know.
a-
I think the rec has a
Yes, I
date.
think they do have a date. I don't have it.
think
Yeah, I
sent
think
it
you
out.
got that
You sent it
from,
out at one point. I don't
Yeah.
remember
Okay,
what it was.
it's,
I think there's a
Earth
calendar.
Day's in April or May, so,
but
I
also
think-
we were trying to link it up with what the rec center was doing too, right? Their
I
Earth
think
Day.
the rec center had it as a Earth Day event
Mhm.
on Earth Day, I believe.
okay, well, Earth Day is April 22nd on a Wednesday. So people show up, and it was at the Lens event yesterday. It was packed. So
Line dancing.
yeah, I guess was that 2 days ago, or it all blends together. But yeah,
And there's a,
Tuesday.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of content out there. I think we can look at what others are doing. I don't think there's.
Yeah.
Right.
No need to
private
reinvent the wheel.
ownership, Right? Yeah.
No, I think,
Well,
I think-
Folly seemed fine with us just.
yeah,
And they had a college
yeah.
intern that did that. It's great.
yeah,
Wild Dunes doesn't care. We can lift their material. So it's just a matter of collating it all.
right. Okay. All right, so do we need to pick a date then, when we're
Yeah,
gonna?
Eric, you
get together.
want to facilitate, since you're running the matrix? Would that make sense for you to?
sure.
Yeah,
Where?
Well, we could come back here if we know when it's available and pick a date that 90% of us.
So Todd, you said 2 or 3
And there's a conference room upstairs if it's.
Weeks out.
This room is taken.
Yeah.
Does the week of the 27th, I just happened to see that Thursday is wide open for the,
I am out of the country on that day. This is going to be painful. I feel like to get all of us.
the week prior to that. I mean, and it doesn't need to be based on me, but the Tuesday, the 21st is wide open.
It's my son's birthday.
It's also not wide open.
It's not wide open?
And-
We have admin, that special admin meeting for interviews
Oh,
in the
okay.
afternoon.
What about the 22nd?
I'm
Court is-
flying in.
Court is that afternoon, but the morning is good. Cindy, you have a conflict
I
on the
have a-
22nd?
I have a fly flying back here. I'll be in by 5 o'clock, but that's probably too late for you guys.
Yeah, I have a conflict on Wednesday till from 10.
What
to-
about the following week, the 27th?
That was the one you were
Which
talking
one
about.
is
with
that?
Jason.
Eric, are you gonna be-
I'm gone.
Oh, that's when.
That
you're-
whole week?
Yeah.
You're not back for
Okay.
Halloween?
I'm here on Halloween.
I think we're in
Yeah,
the first week of
flying back.
November now.
November.
Gotta be back for Halloween.
First week of
That-
November.
So the 6th is not, like the 5th, we have committee meetings all day on the 5th because of election day being on the 4th.
Mm.
Oh,
What
Election
about
day
that
is
Monday, the
Tuesday.
3rd?
Well, we could do the 6th, which is Thursday. And then, but if you did it on the 6th, that means you've got your regular meeting the following week.
That's okay.
6th and
I can't do the 6th. Sorry, guys.
Maybe we should try and do a smaller group.
what about,
What about next week?
I can dial in. I'm not here physically.
Next week looks pretty good for me.
Wednesday would be the only day that I could do it next week, the 15th.
I can do Wednesday.
I think I'm fine
Wednesday works for me.
All right, so 10:15.
Douglas?
I can do it, I can't do it early in the morning.
Okay.
I can do it after about 10.
Yeah, I could do it do we want to do something early afternoon, like at 1 o'clock? Would that
Sure.
work for everybody?
Works for me. 15th at 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock,
Yep,
okay?
you got there.
Woo-hoo. Well done.
So from like 1 to 2?
Yeah, 1 to 2-ish, yeah.
1 to 6.
And Eric, you'll just,
So this will be our,
you'll distribute the 10, the magic 10?
Yeah,
Well,
let me,
yeah.
let me do that right now, see if I can.
Oh, Nicole already sent it out.
The magic 10, she did?
Sorry.
The 10th at 2 at
I
1
did.
o'clock.
Oh, the invite.
Yeah.
No, Katie did.
The list of,
Did I do that?
It said invitation from Katie Myers.
I sent that to people?
I know, I always pick the wrong thing too.
That's
If you-
magic.
I know. It automatically went
I
to
meant to
your
just send it to myself.
brain. No, I know.
Sweet.
I do the same thing.
Wow.
I know,
oh wow, it
Thanks for
showed
doing
up
my job
everywhere.
for me on that one.
and we could do it here,
Duet
Douglas?
It
Hearts.
probably didn't
Duet
include,
Hearts
I
at City
don't know.
Hall's on there.
It does,
It did do it.
Yeah,
It
it
like
does.
included all the things that needed to be
it
done.
does.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you.
now I'm
And I
getting it
did
from
it from
Amy
1
too.
PM,
Amy
not
just
1
sent it
AM,
too.
because I'm really good at that.
No, well, it was on City Hall already.
Yeah.
It's City Hall and Duet Heart invited as well.
Boom.
Douglas,
Yes,
I think
ma'am.
you have to send the matrix to Eric because you're the author of this
Okay,
spreadsheet.
I will.
And won't let me share it.
I will.
And I vote Tom Foster in Excel master.
Okay, so I've got it on my calendar.
Probably many times,
Okay,
because everybody's
On
sitting
my
there.
calendar.
okay.
All right, should we
So,
have a plan for 10 of these things, so should we
That's good.
go to the next one, or you want to keep?
I think we should move on to the next item on old business, which is our water quality testing results. The testing results came back. And ironically, the DNA sampling showed that the contaminant in 25 and 36 was dog. There was no human or deer.
Dog problem.
There was no human or deer E. coli, or, there was nothing in there. It was only dog. So, we're kind of back to, we have a definitive, for sure, that it was not human, and it really was dog. So,
So we have a different problem.
Is that a
so,
problem? I don't know.
no, I mean, the.
Is the level- are the
good
levels
news-
high?
The good news
Yes.
is that
Levels are high.
there,
Septic tanks are good.
there were no, yeah, they were high. They
No
were very
failures.
high.
Yeah, but no failures
But-
with the septic tank.
So there
And
was-
what does that mean from like a medical perspective?
So
I know
there's
you're
no-
walking around
well,
with dogs.
it's not
I know
great.
I know it's gross, but
Because people are not clearly picking up after their dogs, and that's still bad bacteria, but
Yeah.
it's not E. coli, human E. coli. And it means that the septic systems that are operational apparently seem to be operating properly. So then my next question to James was, because we had given ourselves the budget to do a second round of testing if we wanted to. And so I spoke to him on Tuesday. And I said, well, what if we were to do a test, the next round of testing in a water event situation? Because this was dry weather, which he felt was would give us a more accurate reading, because there wouldn't be any intercoastal waters coming into play. My question is, though, for you all, is we know that when we do have a bad rain event, today was not necessarily what I'm thinking of, but when we have the really major flooding on Palm Boulevard, my feeling is that the septic drain fields that are just on the other side of that road are being potentially compromised with all of that floodwater. And in those particular instances, there could be a problem with septic waste coming into our yards, and certainly on the waterway and in people's other yards, and could be a potential problem.
So we were testing the back of the island to see what was washing out of the island. Is that kind of what?
Yeah, we were at the outfalls.
This would be
We
different.
did the 25th Street, we did the 36th Street, and we did Myrtle Avenue.
But what you're describing would be a different location on the island.
No, we would do the same outfalls, but.
But it'd be with the
But there would
rain.
be water coming,
Yeah.
there would be a lot of water coming potentially from the flooding that's going on the beach area, or, the beach areas where the septic systems are located all along Palm Boulevard. The majority of the homes along Palm Boulevard, according to the water department, when I spoke with Chris, are all on septic. And when we have the high tide and additional rain with, the heavy flooding, a lot of that water that's coming onto the road is potentially from drain fields that are in the back, on the beach side of the homes. So it's really a question of, that the septic systems themselves may not be compromised, but the drain fields potentially are being compromised and potentially creating contamination on the island. But I don't know if we want to go there with that.
Right, because if that's the worst-case scenario, if that does come to fruition, then what is our action plan? Then what would we
Yeah, is there
attempt
any
to do?
remedy for that?
Right.
I mean,
would
or
we-
is that just a natural occurrence?
You know, I think to Laura's point, and just a couple of thoughts on that, I guess the good news about the Ocean Boulevard, depending on how you look at it, Palm Boulevard, is there's actually very few parts of that are connected to the drainage system that make it to the back of the island. It's really right around like 25th.
Well, 21st. Go to
21st would go down.
Go to 25th, and then also from 27th, we'll go to 25th. It's a T, goes straight down, then all the way, then there's a ditch behind 25th that picks up both sides of 25th and 26th that all have houses that have septic fields too.
So the ditch at
Really?
25th
Mhm.
would be I think that would be the only one that connects to Palm Boulevard.
Yes.
But the other, once you get above kind of 26th, 27th, there is no stormwater system there, so it's not conveying back.
Okay.
But we picked those three sites because they were the most problematic from the first study.
That's correct.
Correct.
How much more is it to do it during a rain event? To do it again?
It's no additional, it's not an upcharge for a rain event. It just would be a different,
What was the
different
cost,
scenario.
though, for when they did the?
So we spent, so the bottom line for the Fluidian cost, and that we got 6 test tubes, and we used 3 of them that had the reagent in them. And that, the Fluidian tubes the cost was $4,150. Then we did sampling for 3 species at the 3 outfalls. So we spent an additional total of $1,315. So right now, we have spent $5,465.
But to do the additional 1 sample, 3 outfalls would be another $400, a third of that 1,300?
It's, who's got a calculator? It's $135 per species per
Yeah.
sample. So we could do
If we did human
one,
only.
we could just do the
times 3
25th
outfalls.
Street outfall and do,
I mean, you could just do human.
Right,
Yeah,
at
one
this point.
species.
You could just do
That's-
human
Yeah.
25th,
species.
and it would be $135.
it would be $135.
Right.
Yeah,
Might be worth.
yeah. And we have the budget, because we had a total budget of $6,780.
Sounds like that makes sense.
But
And we-
again, if we identify that there's a problem, what's the mitigation?
I think it's just, it furthers the conversion
Conversation.
to septic tank discussion, because it's such a hotbed issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, a lot of the pushback against getting people moving to septic is that there's no problem.
That's correct.
So you identify, well, when it rains,
There is a problem
there's
potentially.
E. coli.
Right,
on
but there's a
25th.
cost associated with converting to
There
the
is.
sewer
Yeah.
system.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
But we have
Sure.
to start to have the conversation.
I mean, the conversation's not going away. I just think it's just good to know, because someone may say, well, I don't have a problem. There's no problem with septics. This would say, well, the data shows that there is. And so it would change the dynamic with certain folks, I think.
But what do
Make it
you,
actionable.
so the counter argument has always been, though, that if you tighten it, you still have all the dogs and all the deer and all the other sources of E. coli. You're only gonna improve it
Right.
marginally at best if this data plays out to be, the way it is. You're still having a lot of other.
Well, the dog,
coli,
thing,
I
I don't think we ignore that.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think that's-
I don't
Blew
think
right by
we're-
that, yeah.
And that's
And-
universal, that's
and-
not controversial.
Okay.
Septics is highly controversial. Doing more about, picking up dog poop is
To me, that's
And-
kind of the takeaway, is
Yeah.
are there kennels right along the ditches that people are spraying into the, is there some,
Well, there's no
Right.
bag, I mean, there's no bags near those outfalls, so that could be something we could do. I mean, there's bags on, when you go to the beach, it's amazing, there's dog bags everywhere, and there's not a lot of dog poop on the beach, we all see it. But there's none, like on the path on Waterway, there's none. So maybe one thing we could do is install some dog poop bag dispensers, particularly near those outfalls.
do you, I guess I assumed it was people's backyards. I don't know that, but I think I was going, my mind was,
Yeah.
people kind of are like, it's in my backyard, it doesn't matter. When I walk my dog, I'll pick up, but when I let
Yeah.
them out back, they're out back. And I guess the messaging of, hey, you live next to a ditch that is connected to the waterway, that's problematic too. But I don't really know what the source of that is. I guess I'd be curious to know. Is it people's just in the backyard?
I think it's hard
animals?
to, I mean, it's really hard to know, Douglas. I mean,
Yeah,
It's gonna be hard to.
We tested for deer and dog.
in their backyard.
And human, and there was no deer at all,
have two
and there
dogs.
was
I
no
pick it up in
human
my
at all.
backyard.
It was just
Why wouldn't you
dog.
want to?
I know, it gets gross.
And it was at 36th and 25th. And so, I don't know if there's a way to tell where it's coming.
How it's coming.
How it's
But
coming.
I mean, if we
People
don't,
pick it up on the road, right? If you're walking your dog.
sometimes, I do, but sometimes people do, and sometimes don't. I see
think
it.
Is
most
that a-
People do, but.
Yeah, sometimes
I
they
think
do.
we've all seen dog poop on the side of the paths, I mean, just.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, and I think if we have it on the beach, I don't see why we can't have those on the waterway, on that,
Yeah.
on that
And maybe
path.
the actual item might be
I
for
mean,
this,
this
for the
is-
dog problem specifically, might be, an awareness campaign. Hey, Waterway, I don't know if you knew this, but there's this problem going on. Second, we're installing bags, to help with the situation. But, we're asking everybody to kind of contribute, even on private property, to pick up your dog poop and help us address the E. coli problem.
So
Just
how-
make people aware.
I haven't been out really on a lot of the main beach on IOP. And I know in Waldoons, we have lots of these dog pickup station, where you can deposit and where you can get the bags. Do we have those on the,
They're on the
any?
beach access.
Robert Cohen.
They're on-
He is the dog.
So we do-
Dog waste. Yeah, the dog waste professional. And you have them in the ditches more than
Because this
anybody.
ties into the
Is
idea
there
of,
something about those hotspots that make it bad? Are there more dogs there, or, because we did a broad test and
That's
we
right.
had those hotspots?
We really only had those hotspots.
So
So
it's
that,
just like,
I guess
is
what
that
made
all
me
people
wonder
with
if there's a
dogs, or-
kennel on the back.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a lot of open ditches in those places. So like I said before, 25th and 26th Avenues share a common ditch, and all those backyards go to that. All that goes to exactly where you were testing on the outfall.
on the outfall.
So that
Right.
may have something to do with it. They're big backyards, but that may be something. Even 36th also, that pulls a lot of open ditches. So runoff, leaching out, of somebody's kennel area could be showing
Do
there.
we have the bags at every beach exit?
So we just contracted with duty calls. We found out, I got with the chief of police who used to do it through animal control, and it was actually more cost effective. So part of the plan was when we convert over to the beach garbage being street side, if we see an increase of people wanting to, or get complaints of people with their dog bags, we will put those whole stations up on the dune side of each beach path.
What about the bag dispensers?
Yeah, so bag dispensers and a waste station.
But the back stations are on each beach access?
Not
or-
everyone,
Okay.
not
Can we
everyone.
put a couple along Waterway?
We could. I think when we do the project,
Yeah.
I think right after we do the project down there, the multi-use path, we could add them there.
We could even do like, to tying into what we're gonna talk about next week, a broader kind
Yeah.
of environmental sign, which I think would speak to a lot of those initiatives.
Just need a big circle and a slash with a pile of poop in it. That's all we need.
Yeah.
No poop.
Or maybe just some education,
So
because
how-
people might not think that.
They don't know.
Their dog pooping in their backyard
That's
is
a
a
problem.
problem.
Yeah, I think
on an
it's
island.
definitely both, yeah.
I think it's fertilizer.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Robert, we have, what is our current, like, with these, it's this sort of a situation, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
with-
we do not have the waste baskets on those. They're just the dispensers that come down.
And
So
you put it in a
currently, currently they'll use the garbage can for the waste
Okay.
basket.
Right, so
What
the.
But
percent
are
of
we
the
looking
garbage
at going
is
to
dog
something
food?
like
What's
this?
What percent of the dog, of the
There's
garbage?
a lot. There's a lot of, like, a lot of the cans from First to Ninth, you'll see a lot of dog poop and very little recycling or garbage, and it's a lot, just mainly dog poop.
Because this ties in with the whole idea of,
It goes, yeah, with the beach garbage, we dump those.
if we were to have something more comprehensive like this with an actual receptacle, this goes to the point of being able to keep doing a better job of keeping contamination out of the garbage cans and allowing us to potentially do something specific to aluminum can recycling.
I don't know, I mean, we are struggling to even empty the cans that are there now. Never mind, I mean, and those are, being done mechanically.
Yes.
I don't think we would have
You wouldn't have the
the
manpower
manpower to add an additional hand-picked, I mean, that's gotta.
Yeah, so that, if you were doing the dog waste, the company would come, change that waste basket, a bag in it, take that out, remove it, replace it.
So that's
so
what the service does?
That's what the service
Oh,
does.
okay.
Yeah, so if you were to put aluminum, I know that's a discussion that's coming up, that would be a whole other service.
Right.
Yeah.
So on the service that we've started to use, you're saying that we're already using them at some
Yes,
key
I
beach
believe
access?
there's upwards of 40 of them, I believe. It could be
With
even
the
more than-
canister?
Without the can, just a dispenser, so you can pull the bag out, pick up your dog waste, bring it to one of our cans on the beach.
Oh, I thought you were saying that we have
Yeah.
a service on, that we could get the service to also.
We could,
I don't-
could, yes,
I
we
don't know that we
could.
need the service. I mean, the people that are gonna use that, and I put myself in that bucket, I mean, you're just like, oh man, I forgot a bag, and you just take it, and you're, it's more common to see dog poop on the ground than a bag full of dog poop. I think if they bag it, they're gonna take it home. We've all
Right.
walked.
It
I
depends.
walked miles with a
It
bag.
it
Yeah,
depends.
it depends.
It depends.
We
I
are
see
starting to
lots of bags of
see-
poops
Really?
left.
On the
Oh, they
beach
put it in
access.
yeah, they put it in the grass bags. So where people sweep
recycle,
up
yeah.
their clippings and all
Yeah.
that, people leave the dog poop bags in those
Yeah.
bags.
Yeah.
That's a common.
Not getting in the water though.
Not directly.
That's my pet peeve.
Composting.
It'd just be a lot more money to pay for a
Grass
service as
bags.
opposed to just a,
Right,
I think.
and the cans will be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you'd put a can, you'd put.
Yeah.
We're already gonna have a can.
Yeah.
So we would just put this
On
with,
waterway though? You could do that?
On
I'm talking
waterway,
about
we,
on
waterway.
yeah,
Where
waterway,
That'd be a lot.
we would have to think about that.
And what's the name of the company again?
It's duty calls.
Duty calls, I've heard.
very
Okay.
clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
DOOTIE, correct?
we're looking,
DY.
D-O-D-Y.
DY, yes.
duty,
DOODY, duty.
duty
Guy's name is
calls.
Bill Duty.
Come on.
So we're looking at putting 40
Well,
dispensers.
We have currently upwards of 40 dispensers
Just the bag dispensers.
on the beach.
We
On the
currently
beach,
have,
from
okay.
First all the way up to 57th, and then Wild Dunes takes over from there.
But I think it makes sense to put some on Waterway.
Yeah, I agree. Once the multi-use path goes in and it's
Yeah.
more
There are a lot
heavily
of dogs.
Is
traveled.
the, is the
Yeah.
path that they did on 21st recently near the Methodist church, is that gonna, are they gonna redo the, all the way down Waterway?
So that will, yeah, so that goes from the Methodist Church all the way to Waterway now, and that's where we pick up from 21st all the way to
Are they gonna-
41st.
But they're not gonna redo that path. That path is on Waterway. That's.
The waterway path is getting redone.
is
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
redone.
it's
Okay. Yeah, I mean, when,
It's supposed to be this winter.
Oh, so we could just.
It's also 8 years in the works.
So you could,
Much needed.
you could put, you know, a number of those things on that in conjunction, and then along with some sort of campaign.
And I mean, even if you were to have the service remove or have the whole waste container there, since we don't have beach garbage cans, the service was really economical.
Okay.
That's why we swapped over from the police doing it. They couldn't even purchase the bags for what they were gonna do the whole service for, so it just
For
made
what
more
duty
sense.
calls does it.
Yes, yeah.
So we could just call, I mean, figure out how much increment, since we're already.
Yeah, I
used them.
have all that information. I just got that about 2 weeks
Say if
ago.
they had to swing by Waterway and do,
Yeah, I
how
can
many
get
would
that.
you need? I guess minimum 3 at the outfalls, and then how many Waterway dog poop?
I think you would just space on.
Space them like every other
Accordingly.
block, maybe.
But yeah.
It's 20 blocks, so maybe
10.
10,
Yeah, every other.
every other block.
every other
10.
block.
10.
But I think it makes sense to have those baskets on Waterway, because
Yes,
I'd be
I do
afraid
too,
with the
'cause
trash
you won't
cans,
have a can,
people are gonna
right.
knock them over.
Yeah,
So we could see what that cost would
To
be.
serve, to
Yes.
service 10 of those with cans.
Yes.
That'd be cool. People would like that.
Well, and I think we have I mean, the data shows that
That-
it's, the dog
it's dog.
is the problem currently.
So now-
Robert, could you get so they'll give you an estimate, or they'll give you a
Yes.
quote to do 10 and service?
And I think I already have it.
Okay. So we'll provide that for you for next month.
Mhm.
For next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And so then going back to the testing, we're going
Yeah.
to do the additional testing with the rain.
Human on 25th in the rain.
We have until, so with the reagent that we have in the 3 remaining test tubes, we have until November the 18th to schedule it. It has to be, you know, a combination of a rain event, and we also want to do it at low tide technically, even though, because we don't want the high tide plus. We want low tide, but we want a rain event when we're having flooding going on.
Can they come tomorrow?
For this weekend.
Because tomorrow, at
yeah.
low tide, it is going to be. raining.
And Laura, I will say on 25th, we happen to have valves that don't
Mhm.
let the tide water come back. So the concern about it being inundated with tidal water wouldn't be a concern at 25th.
Okay,
Some of them don't have the valves, but that one happens
Yeah.
too. So
Okay.
anywhere in 25th in a rain event would all be flushing water, not tidal water backed up.
oh, okay, okay.
Do we have to give him a date, or can we just say, can you
I
go
think
out
he said
there
he
on a rainy
needed,
day?
he kind
Well,
of needed some heads up.
I was gonna say, I was gonna check with, and Bibi is the young lady who came out, and I met with her to show her the outfalls when we did the first testing. I don't have to be with her the next time, because she knows exactly where she's going now. But I was actually gonna call, or let James know that if we had consensus today, if Bibi's available, tomorrow might be a good day to go back out and do it, because it's supposed to be pretty heavy rain tomorrow, and there's a low tide at around 4 o'clock, according to what I was seeing on my tide chart. So if she wanted to do, come out, if she's available. But I wanted to ask you all first before I made a call. And if she isn't, then we would have to coordinate a different day when, before the 18th, to have her come out and do it.
And then Laura, in James's note to you, when he said, I'll have to charge you an additional fee, that's what you were talking about?
It was, I clarified with him that it would be what we've already set up
Okay.
for. And he said, and actually it would, it's gonna be less, because if we only test for 1 species instead of 3, we're actually still not gonna be using up our entire fund that we had set aside for this.
I think he did, I feel like there was a marginal increase for kind of analysis and
Yeah,
so, but
he
I
said
think
he
it'd
would,
still be well within the budget.
and he
so-
said he would send another proposal to you
Yeah.
to cover a second round of
Yeah.
testing at whatever level we decided to go forward
Yeah.
with.
Okay. So would you mind, you'll go back to him
Yeah,
and just see if
yeah.
maybe could do it tomorrow? and
Yeah,
If
I'll-
they can, we'll,
I'll
give her the go-ahead.
I'll email him
Okay.
and text him as soon as we're done with the meeting. Okay. Okay, thanks, y'all. Let's get into the discussion and consideration of the changes to the lighting ordinance.
Thank you. So on page 16 and 17 of your packet is the original ordinance language that we had reviewed, and we had some 4 or 5 items that we had added to, proposed to add to the ordinance around the lighting. I did attend a council workshop, it was a month ago, it was on the 9th of September, and went through this. Douglas was there with me, went through this, and, I'll say the feedback, we had some questions and feedback. I'll say the feedback was mixed. It wasn't as terrible as I thought it would be, but it was mixed. There was sort of, in, multiple comments from individuals, it kind of bubbled up that there were a couple of these items that felt a little bit more common sense type rules, and others were more like one of the council members referred to as HOA, trying to put an HOA in place. So I thought about this a little bit, and, we really actually started, Mary sent an article 1.5 years ago about streetlights and turtle-friendly streetlights, and we talked about, commercial and residential, and we tried to really simplify this down to just focusing on residential. We tried to keep it simple with just a few changes, but even that seemed to be a little bit more than what I think council would be willing to sign off on. So the first 2 items, though, it's actually was Blair Hahn said, he felt like those were the ones that were more common sense type rules. The others, they felt like were a little bit more, I'm not sure I could get on board with that, requiring people to adhere to those rules. And so I talked to Douglas, and one of the ideas I want to throw out for the committee was, instead of trying to push for all of these items, maybe the first 2, the ones that were referred to as common sense were A and B. And A was the one that said, basically, don't shine your exterior lights into natural areas in waterways and natural areas. B was don't shine your lights into your residents' bedroom windows and on their property. So that was kind of deemed as common sense, whereas the others, which certainly do help with light pollution, were just deemed to be, hey, that's probably overstepping a little bit. So maybe instead of trying to force that with an ordinance, we take items C, D, and E, and other things that we come up with as a committee, and come up with almost like a recommendation list that goes with a building permit application. So it's sort of like a environmental advisory committee recommended practices, and there could be a list of things like use 3,000 Kelvin and below lighting, whatever these things might be, as well as encourage native plants, using hardscapes that are, less, that create less runoff, et cetera. So we could come up with a list of things that the committee would recommend to anybody that's doing work in construction on their residence, and maybe softly push some of these ideas. But the first 2, keep those in here as common sense type ordinance things. So that's really the proposal I'm bringing forth, is can we strike C, D, and E from this proposed language, keep A and B in here, have it run through the process with the other committees, go back to council, and then separately tackle some sort of a, it's kind of a good neighbor for building concept that would be attached to the building permit process, which Douglas didn't think that process would be a challenge. It was really coming up with the content. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I like it.
So A is just definitions. Nobody can argue with those.
No,
Oh,
Down in
am
the
I
red.
looking at the wrong thing?
I'm sorry, go down to the next page.
Oh, the
It's
next.
the red AB.
Oh, okay.
It's the new,
Oh,
it's
never
the
mind.
new.
This would stay, the first paragraph thing would stay, because
Okay.
that's the, kind of the objective. And then A and B, A being the, don't shine in the natural areas, and B being don't shine into the residential windows, would stay, and then the other 3 items, Mary, would then be more like recommendations.
see.
Yeah.
Is a dock a residential structure?
Is
I
a
wanna just
dock
be
a
specific.
residential structure?
So a couple of things came up from the planning commission yesterday.
Okay.
That was one.
Okay,
And the need to illuminate a dock from, at night, just to not be,
For safety.
for safety
Right.
of boating.
yeah, I think, so I would think we would do the same thing we do beachfront, because you have to have lighting for beachfront accesses to, like a dock or a boardwalk that goes out to the beach from your property would have to have lighting. I would just say we would do the same, whatever the language is there, that it has to be with the glare guards and down and, not shining out. So I don't know how it was worded for that. It's actually in here. It's in the old ordinance language.
Right.
That we
How
would do
does
that
this
for the
relate
dock.
to the Sea Cabins Pier? We had real problems with their lights this year, and we talked to the manager, and he promised to turn off the lights that were facing upward toward 21st Avenue.
So they should
Instead,
already be,
He blocked off the lights that were facing down toward Breach Inlet. We were told to move all the nests there. So we still had problems. All the little turtles would go to the pier. And eventually they got into the water, so I wasn't real upset about it, but I
Yeah,
just wondered how
know.
a private pier on the beach is
I bet that's considered a
affected
commercial
by this
property.
ordinance.
yeah, I mean, I believe that that's exactly what the existing section of the code is specifically aimed at. Um,
I mean, that's the only pier that's on the beach that affects nesting.
So the current ordinance B for dune crosswalks utilize low-profile shielded luminaries. The turned-off piece is for turtle season, doesn't necessarily have to apply to the docks, but something like that for the docks would make sense.
Yeah, because on the marsh side, there are a lot of docks. So I think you just need to be specific.
I think when you get into docks, you're gonna get into the same problem. 'Cause I think you just make it A and B and homes, just houses. Docks, you get into the safety things. If you're starting to talk
Yeah.
about the types of lights, then it gets into the HOA comment. I just think you go with A and B, and it's outdoor lighting on residential homes. Something that's very
Where's the
clear.
word
It's very
dock?
clear.
Where are you
Otherwise
seeing the
you have
word
a lot
dock?
No, it's not in there, but
It's not in
the
there.
question was, is a residential dock prohibited from having lighting if this were to be enacted? And if so, isn't that dangerous to have pitch black docks out into the waterway?
I think a dock would be a residential structure. I mean, it's part of a residence.
So I can just tell you, as a matter of permitting, the city doesn't have jurisdiction over permitting or authority over docks. We don't issue dock permits.
Is that
The state-
DNR?
It's OCRM, which is now BCM. So it's a division of the state. The state legislature ensures that they only have regulations over. So from a practical application standpoint, we do not regulate docks. We don't have that jurisdiction. It's given to BCM.
Yeah, so
So,
to me, just change the word structure to make it clear. So there's just not a question.
Yeah.
I mean,
And you don't want the liability of someone saying, oh, they told me to turn it off, and then someone runs into the dock and, oh, I was just following city policy. I would just change it to homes or,
I mean, residential homes is
but you
probably-
do want it to apply to pools, to sheds, to outbuildings, right? I mean, so I think that it's not stated in here, and it doesn't necessarily need to be
Okay.
stated, but that
Yeah.
docks just aren't, we don't regulate
It's
docks.
not, yeah.
It's not under our purview. If you wanted to make it clear, to Cindy's point, you could say outdoor lighting on upland or,
I would make it clear, because I would assume 99% of people don't know that you don't regulate dock, I mean, that's,
so specifically
yeah,
residential structures, you could say, except docks.
excluding docks, yeah.
Yeah, because with new people that are moving down here
They have
and,
no idea who regulates what.
yeah.
So we need some definition of residential structure. That needs to be added in
Just
there.
excluding docks.
Excluding docks is fine.
Okay. I don't know if legal would say that's,
Yeah, we do have, the zoning code has allowed, it has specifically what's allowed in a residential zoning district, a house, a pool, an accessory shed, garage.
so the definition you think
So we
is
might
over
be able to
there.
refer back to that
Okay.
section as to what's allowed in a residential district.
Okay. So clarify what we're talking about,
Yeah.
residential structures, make sure docks are excluded. We can figure that out. Is the change at the macro level that keeping A and B and getting rid of C, D, and E and then trying to do process, does that make sense to everybody? To deal with some of the recommendations and take it out of the ordinance? B, C, and, or C, D, and E?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're good with that?
The planning commission did have a fairly, they had a good discussion about, and it was really C, D, and E. So I'm going to save that. They felt like 60 watts was they had a lot of kind of technical feedback that 60 watts isn't a viable.
The lumens would be instead?
Yep, that it would be lumens, but
Yeah.
that 60 watts equates to about a 400 lumen fixture, and that 100 was too low. And I think they said 400 would be a more appropriate kind of low, think that's the rough equivalent to what we think of as a 60-watt bulb.
Okay, that's interesting. We took that right from,
From Folly?
I think it was Foley.
Yeah, and
Okay,
similar language about low wattage architectural lighting, uplighting, it would be low lumen. And apparently in the industry, the common thing, if you Google it, is low voltage. You know, it's run by 12 volts instead of your house 110. They didn't think low wattage architectural lighting was a term.
okay.
So it'd be low lumen
Low lumen.
architectural?
And I think they actually had a number that would have been, and I think it was more like 100 or 200.
Okay.
Kind of that low.
So this would come out of the
low.
ordinance, but in
But yeah, all
within the
that's-
recommendation
yeah.
document, we would use this terminology instead.
Yep.
And is
Okay.
that lighting your house? How about landscape lighting? Or is architectural, is landscape included in architectural?
I think that was the intent. That's
Okay.
that kind of outdoor glow that you're, not like a security light or a floodlight, just kind of a glow on your tree or
Yeah.
at the foundation of your home.
Todd, is the phrase May 1st to October 31st in the new one at all? I see.
No, this would be year-round.
Oh, this is,
So you'd still have the turtle lighting as it is today.
Yeah.
But then in addition to that, you would have year-round,
Yeah, this is
Don't
only
light-
existing.
okay.
don't light up
Will
your
this,
yard.
That's
will
what-
that be kept?
This is staying the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
adding some additional.
I was looking at the red and I didn't see
Yeah.
that, but that's
No,
just
this would be a new section
in
specific to.
addition to this, okay. I was
So
just
the-
worried
Good
that maybe it
neighbor.
So the
was-
thought is, or the plan then would be that C, D, and E would be incorporated by the planning commission for building permits and for
I think this
for
group
new building?
would be the best to develop it and then kind of get the spirit of what it is.
Sort of
They
a-
might be a good, I mean, they have an architect, they're kind of a technical building type committee, but I think if we started it and C, D, and E is a good start, and it then would come to the building department as kind of a,
Recommendation.
as guidance. We would just
Make sure we
create.
capture it and
Yeah,
work
once we
on
get it to where we want it, we would then distribute that as guidance. We do the same thing for tree protection during construction. These are all the guidelines as to how you fertilize it, how you deal with it.
Okay.
So we have a template and a process to do that.
Okay.
Only other thing I would say is that the front part of that, the telling of the purpose, generally that is in the whereases of the code and not actually, when it comes to what's in the code book. Occasionally, there's kind of, this is the spirit of, this is why we got there, but generally, it's just, these are the things you don't do.
So that would come out.
I think that whole,
Okay.
everything above A and B, so I think it really becomes, and it would come out, but it would be in the whereas sections of the ordinance, so that somebody looking, what were they trying to achieve, what's the spirit of this, it would be there,
Okay.
but it wouldn't be in the actual body of the code book.
But then that language could then also live in that sort of that
And it could
complementary
also,
document
yeah,
that
that's
goes with
right.
the permitting process.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, that would be a great
Okay.
preamble to that, too.
All righty.
Good.
So this would go, city council bounced it to the planning commission, because it's in the zoning code, everything that's in the zoning code goes through them. They met last night, and I told them you all would be having this discussion. So once we get it finalized, which I think, if you all are okay, Todd, if you and I could kind of come up with the consensus of what we've heard here.
Okay.
I could then send that and obviously would distribute it to you, but would send that directly to the planning commission for their input, and then it'd go back to
Because
council.
they meet a day before we meet.
That's
Okay,
correct.
next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, they meet
They
next,
8th.
so they meet the Wednesday before we meet on the Thursday
they
next
meet the
month.
day before you do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I could get it back to you, but it would cost a month. in the time.
Yeah, we don't want to do that, no. Okay,
Thank you. I've got to run.
I gotta go in 10 minutes.
I got to go 10 minutes ago. See you guys next week.
Are we, I mean, I would say, well, with losing people, are we good to, I think Fisher, I would say we have some homework to do. The Folly Beach Sustainability Bucket List, are we
I
good
think that's
to?
something we can incorporate into our meeting next week.
And then aluminum beach recycling, could we just leave that for our next meeting? Because those are all kind of new.
Make a motion to move that to the next meeting.
I second that motion.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Shall we move to adjourn then?
yes,
Do
let's.
we need to do the correction to the minutes? How do we do that since we didn't,
Oh, yeah.
she had to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nicole had to
I
leave.
didn't fully understand, you all do you want to email her your corrections?
Sure.
And then so we'll just put both sets in your next packet.
Okay,
Yeah, just email me or Nicole or both of us
Okay.
those corrections.
all right. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank
And
you.
then, Todd, do you still want to meet tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning? Yeah.
I'm now going to there's a meeting at 9